So hey, it's me again. So let's go over some cars. Let's go over with some cars. Now we're gonna choose a car, something cool. Yada 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 yada. Actually, not. I'm gonna go into everything. Search for a bip that we've used lately. Panamera 118, the 18 truck. Let's go with Forge GT 2017. Let's go with that. Just set it up, then send the file to the render farm, and from there on we're gonna edit it. Let's see what's gonna happen with the editing. Okay, I'm gonna go into performance mode so that way I can spend a lot less time on this. So we're gonna go here. So I've been materializing this whole thing as well. Most of the people actually ask, how do you do this? How do you do that? Let's go with the brightness a little bit. Wait. Oh yeah, these are Boston VPS 315T wheels that Jonathan has given me during Gunmetal Black. Let's go into 40, and then we have more brightness. In terms of the tire tread, I usually go with these settings. You can go whichever way you want. In texture, I usually use bump map with either box map, planar X, or UV coordinates, depends on how the geometry is mapped. And on bump height, I usually don't want to go over 21. In terms of the brake calipers, I'm just going to use a metal material, so its roughness is okay. Usually I'm gonna go with UV coordinates since I know that this brake caliper works. Then I'm gonna go into brightness and contrast, so you can either make the brake disc texture become brighter or darker. Then let's go to the lights. Many people have asked me in the past about lights. How do you do that? It's basically an advanced material. Its main color is red. Specularity, these are reflections. Specularity is set to white, of course, since it's a specular map. Specular transmission, this is the transmission that tells you how much you want to get light through or how much you want to keep it inside. I usually keep it in between or use this color that I found perfect for this situation. Refraction index is the index of how much of this material will refract. Or I got like keep it on this on 1.6. Roughness transmission. See, if you use this, the LED light underneath it will basically be a ring. We don't want that. Roughness has a little bit of depth to it. That's a little bit of effect, so it will be washed out. So it will basically just use the whole geometry to wash it out and be uniform. And that's basically it. The paint I'm using is Axalta paints, which is actually the cappuccino one here. Edit material, it's just basic glass. I'm gonna hide it. And on the front lights, I'm usually going with emissive as well. There might be some textures if you want to look at like LED lamps, but for these it will be post-production wise anyways, so you can add some blue glow to it if you want. Also a good good thing to keep in mind is you might want to group your wheels. See, I can remove the wheel entirely. I can move it around without my brake calipers or stuff like that becoming a mess. See, it's all moving. And if I want to add an animation, I'm just gonna remove the root node. It's just gonna leave the break disk. I can select it to another group, or I can do to this group as of basically a rotation, so it will just rotate the root node. Yellow. Yeah, see. Origin. So here is it. Yeah, see, it's rotating. So, but we're not going to use that anyways. It's not going to be an animation. Delete animation. Remove it. So that's, yeah, it's another great tip. Keep your objects in groups. So we're going to go over a little bit of lighting. So I want to have a little bit of light on the top and on the bottom. What comes in handy, of course, are IES lights. So these are spheres that are emitting light to the body of the car. Let's go back to lighting, environment. Let's choose a number which is lower than 10, for example, just to demonstrate how much emissive lights, IS lights actually make the scene better. Let's go over here. So let's go to, for example, 3. We have really dark scene. We're gonna flatten the ground and also give it some nice effects. Use the camera to go to twist. Oh yeah, we got some nice action going here. And we're gonna use depth of field, and we're gonna focus on this part over here, so it will make everything else blurry. And I'm gonna turn performance mode off, and now you see directly what I'm talking about. IES lights are shining upon the car paint, thus making it more dramatic, in my opinion at least. But yeah, this looks cool in my eyes. So let's go to depth of field. Let's go with f-stop. See, you can only see the wheel where I focused it on. Might be cool, might be not. But for me it works. But I'm not just gonna leave it off. I'm just gonna go back to here, put the brightness to 10 because I want some reflections. That's basically it. These were advanced. These were gunmetal. This is a tire material that I did myself. There's a brake disc underneath. There are IES lights shining upon the car paint. And let's do a little bit fun stuff since we're gonna make the scene even more dramatic. Let's go into performance mode. Edit. And just as it isn't in the last one, let's go add the plane. It's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a long one because we're gonna have focus on this video also on editing. And editing is gonna be a bitch. Depends on what you actually want to do. Boom, we got the plane. I don't know if I actually want to do the puddle anymore. It will save me a button of time. But anyways, I'm not gonna go over rendering it and whatnot. I'm just gonna leave it as that. You saw how I did it. Let's go and take a file and edit it. Just gonna leave it at that. So you know how to realize the car, you get the gist of it. Looks awesome, right? So let's go Ford GT. Forged GT. So here's an edited one. Let's go and do this again. Open path. Also keep in mind, everything is always good to have when you're searching for stuff. It's a must-have tool. So these are all edited images. Let's go and do a raw file. So this is one of the raw files, but I don't want to do the front. The front everybody's seen. Let's go and do the rear of the car. See this. As you can probably see, this is how the materials worked. This is in 7K. This is the refraction I was talking about. See this red line here? That's exactly my point. Exactly my point. Bias lights are shining upon the material, making it more glowing. That's it. Nothing more to it. Let's edit. I'm just gonna rename it because it's already in my Lightroom preset. Copy. Let's go into Lightroom. Let's see how this one goes. Yada 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 yada. Update available. I don't give a crap. So export to Lightroom, import it. I know, and go into develop. The first things I want to do is get the exposure, highlight, contrast, and clarity done. Contrast, highlights. Make sure you don't overexpose anything. See, use Alt so you can see where it's beginning to be overexposed. You want to keep it like this, a little bit of highlights. Yeah, here we go. Shadows. We want to have good shadow coverage, or it's becoming too black, it's gonna be dark entirely. We're just gonna be in balance with it. Whites. Don't overexpose your whites. That's always a bad thing. Overexposed images are just the worst. And go into blacks. You don't want to have too much black. Otherwise, you're just gonna over contrast it. I think that this will do just fine. And already, you can see a small difference just from going through the sliders. A little bit of clarity, not too much, because if you go clarity wise too high, yeah, it looks cool, but it isn't an advertisement image, right? Over clarified images, they look awesome, but it's not the answer. I'm gonna keep a little bit of clarity on it. Let's say just +5. Then I'm gonna go to radial filter. I've been using it lately and it's worked wonders for me. Radial filter will basically, it will deselect the area that you want to apply a filter, and you can use it to play around. For example, with exposure, you can expose it, you can underexpose it, make it darker. If you make it wider, this area becomes wider, and this the middle area is not being affected. With clarity, I don't know, a little bit. Shadows, not so much. I want to keep some highlights, contrast. Yep. And we'll colorize it a little, give it a little bit of pop. And now we're gonna do radial filter again. Yep. But with this radial filter, we're gonna do just something a little bit different. See, invert mask. This will invert from being outside to inside. And now we're gonna do some awesome things. Exposure, make down. See, it's now I'm selecting the car part of it. Contrast, and then bump up the clarity a little. Also, you might want to saturate the image as well, or I mean the selection. And sharpness usually goes in head. Just simple steps that you can do to pop the image. Can you see the difference? I mean, I can. Now let's go over to this thing. I like to keep parts a little bit like exposed. Boom. Let's go here as well. Yup. Highlights, shadows. Because there's light coming in from that situation. That situation, I mean that spot. It's not a situation. Sorry. Got quite confused. See, you don't want to use the highlights too much. Now let's do something with the ground. Adjustment brush. Let's get to adjustment brush. You don't want to overexpose it. You don't. And we're going to use this tool. Press Alt and remove what we think we overdid. A little bit of exposure on the ground as well. Sorry. Let's see the difference. What's the difference? A lot is the difference. So that's how you approach simple ways in Lightroom on how you can edit the image. Yeah, I mean, we can go a little bit further, add a little bit of lens flare, as everybody likes to call it. Let's go and add some lens flare. Then I'm gonna crop the image as well, just a little. Make it more like a widescreen variety. Now we're gonna go to Control Shift and Export E, and we're not gonna use the watermark this time. We're gonna open up with Photoshop, and we're gonna export it. And then we're gonna have some cool looking lens flare. Oh, in terms of the presets, in rendering, what are the settings? In this case, I use 22 samples and 6 array bounces. I mean 6 arrays. I didn't use caustics or anything. I didn't use interior mode. It was just basic environmental mode, and this particular one I flattened the ground on the environment. So we're gonna go background, duplicate layer. We go on filter. We're gonna go close Lightroom before. Skip this time. Filter, render, lens flare. Lens flare. I like lens flare. 105mm prime. I'm gonna use this. Boom. Makes it pop. Awesome. I'm just gonna turn down the opacity on this one as well. Duplicate layer. Let's go to filter, render, lighting effects. Add a little bit more pop to the image. Let's go into colors. We're gonna colorize it with this because there's orange coming from that side. I've been rethinking about this. really rethinking. Oh, by the way, if you want to use it like contrasted, use the metallic slider. If you want like this cool looking bluish thing. Oh yeah, we're gonna some blue effects here. You can do that as well. Ambience. Ambience is how much it will highlight despite the hotspot. Don't want to use it. Want to keep it in metallic. Gloss also. How much shine is on the details. I want to keep it like I don't know. This seems about right, but you have to keep in mind these lines will appear. So your opacity might want to come down just a little. We can barely see the duplicate layer and go into filter, render, lighting effects. We're gonna do the same thing but on the other side. Oh, it redid it. Great. But anyways, we're gonna go to merge visible, so it's one layer. And we're gonna play around with highlights and shadows in here as well. See? Highlights, a little bit of highlight. Before, after. Before, after. Good. Good God. Saturation. Boom. Here we got something. And blackness and contrast. Now it makes real pop. Merge visible. And I think it's done. At least in terms of my eyes. Let's go put it on to this PC and put it on to documents. Okay, Max. Don't want to open this at all. Here's what it looked like before the editing. Here's what it will look like after the editing. Where is it now? Okay, that's weird. I'm pretty sure I exported it here. Did I? Oh yeah, I didn't press OK. So here's the before. Here's the after. Before, after. Makes a little bit of difference, right? So this is how you do it. This is how you use Lightroom and how you edit your image. At least in terms of interior scenes, when you have to want to make it dramatic, where you have some kind of focal point, which in this case was the wheel and the side of the car, and the carbon fiber and the tire thread. I mean the tire sidewall. See, it's nicely refracting. You saw the settings. You know how to do this. Now, instead of just sitting here and waiting for something more to come out of this, go ahead, open up your Keyshot, put it into render mode, let it render, and try these radial filters, gradual filters, these lens flares, and light effects out in Photoshop and Lightroom. And try with the advanced mode also on the material to get this cool looking lights. I can do a ton more editing than this, but I don't want to do it. It's not just worth it. I don't know why. It works for me. So anyways, have fun, guys. Show me the outcome as well, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. So this is a quick one instead of the whole episode one that I was planning on making. So 2 tutorials done. Got it off my bucket list. So see you in the next one. Bye.